Hey, this is Ralph, and in this video I just want to introduce you to an extra credit assignment that you can be working on. So another teacher here pointed me to this particular website. It's the Alexander Bend. Looks like it's a some type of a senior living community or something like that. But we don't really care about the content. Instead, I'm going to kind of slowly scroll up here, and I want you to make a note of the header of the web page. Make a note of this secondary contact navigation over here on the left, and the background images. So we have a large background image of a group of people. I'm scrolling up. You can see that the background we can see that the background moves, and we can see that the header is fixed. Also notice that this navigation over on the far left is fixed. And then we start to get into a solid area content, couple of big divs. And then you'll notice that the background image beneath it starts to appear, but this background image is fixed. And that starts to move up, and then we have some more content. This other content has 3 boxes side by side. I'm going to keep scrolling. Another solid area content, and notice once again we're getting another image that is fixed and not moving as I scroll up. Content, another image that's fixed. Content, another image that is fixed, and then we have the footer of the page. Okay, so let me go through that a little bit faster. And this is the web page, the Alexander Bend. We have a fixed header. We have a fixed little navigation menu off to the left side. The first image moves with the scroll. Other images are fixed and only appear as the content divs scroll past, so to speak. There we go. Alright, so for your extra credit, I would like you to make a very reasonable mock-up to this. And as an example, I made a mock-up before class today, and here's my version of it. I don't have a lot of text content, but you can just see the dark fixed header up at the top. You can see my little navigation space over here on the top left. I did go ahead and put a little content information on this first one, but here's my first background image. And I'm going to scroll up. I've got a large div content boxes. I did gray and white. I didn't put any stuff inside of that. And then we'll see there's an image that is loading up, or a fixed image that we can see. There's some more content, 3 boxes side by side. Another image that's fixed. Content box that I didn't put anything in. Image that's fixed. Content box. Image that's fixed. And then finally the footer. Okay, so that is my version of this. The original you can look at over here, the alexanderbend.com. You shouldn't need the source code. I'm going to give you a little hint. Obviously, I did use some background attachment fixed several times on this. And I promise you, this entire web page can be done using only skills we've practiced in the first 4.5, 5 weeks of the term. There is nothing that I did on my version of this page that we have not done in class at least a couple of times. Maybe we do it in slightly different ways, or maybe we do more of it, but there is no CSS property, no HTML tags that I used that we have not used before. So if you tackle this, don't overcomplicate it. In fact, try to think of it as simply as possible. The way I worked on it is I had the real web page open on one of my screens, just kind of getting a feel for it, and then I typed up my code to kind of get the chunks, and then I went through and I started to put in images. Speaking of images, I just went over to Unsplash and I found images that I thought seemed of a similar theme. So I looked for a picture of a paddleboarder, a hiker. I looked for a couple pictures of people drinking wine. So you don't want to spend a lot of time getting your images, but you do want to have some nice, big, large-scale images. Another point of interest, the first image, it fills up the screen. It fills up the height of this browser. Fills up the height, fills up the width, fills up everything on here. And so does mine. So I'd like you to keep an eye on those little details. You don't really need any text content if you can get the div blocks allocated. Fantastic. Get the background images. Some background images move like the first one. All the others stay fixed. Okay, and then for sizes, I just eyeballed it. I said, that looks pretty similar. I tried to do somewhat similar in colors, but I don't want to spend a lot of time messing around with that. So just make sure you allocate all of the big chunks on this page. And I will be looking for something that looks at least as mock-up level as mine does. You might do a little bit more, but for the extra credit, you can just do this. And the extra credit will be worth 25 points, which will easily make up for a missed quiz if you missed one of our first few quizzes. Okay, have fun with this.